Hey y'all, what is good? This is Balcony. It's been a minute. I missed everyone. Hi. Welcome back if you are new. I was going to say welcome back if you new, child. But if you new, welcome. Okay. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm just happy that you're here. And this is actually going to be a part of like a little series that I'm going to do. I'm going to do like 5 videos just talking about some of the spiritual concepts and natures and principles of none other than astrology. Oh, let me introduce you guys to astrologer. This is my astrologer friend. Hey, astrologer friend. It's non-binary, okay? But my astrologer friend, basically, we are here to talk some concepts on the matter, all right? We're going to do this again from a very practical way because we want to take the mist out of the mysticism, okay? And try to connect some of the dots with some of the practical everyday 3D ways that we see and express ourselves through this energy, right? To make it easier and more digestible, okay? And also, the more that we do that, right, the easier it is to transmute these energies, okay? Where you can add your own little sauce and spice to the matter, okay? And pull from these influences, all right? And then use your alchemy, okay? And create the experience for yourself that you like to, all right? So I want to help aid and add into the space about this astrology talk. I wanted to kind of talk about the concepts of astrology and just kind of maybe some of the whys, any of this stuff even important. It's about understanding it, and understanding what are the principles and the natures of it, right? So that we can see what spirit can show us through these things. And that's how we're going to do, y'all. We're going to take the mist out this mysticism, child. Y'all want to hear it? Here you go. Okay, so let's talk about the sun. So we're going to kick off this series and we're going to speak in regards to the sun. Now, the sun is, and I wanted to start out with the sun when we come to astrology because honestly, it's like that's the most prominent planet that everybody is aware of, the sun, right? Because, some people won't know the moon or rising sign. Of course, based off your birthday, it's very easy to find in the astrology chart, all right? And we just got to kick facts, okay? Or let me not say facts, child, because I heard some tea about facts, but let's just speak the accurate truth about the ultimate creator on this awareness right now with regards to existing is the sun. All right, there's no you, there's no me, there's no we. We don't get the opportunity to do this dance without our sun. All right. It's the creator of life. So it had me thinking. I was like, yo, I probably need to take this concept a little bit more on the sun because we deal with it so much in astrology and in regular life, child, and think about it some more. So I did that. So I got to Googling, and then I Googled what color does the sun give off, right? Because I think I had heard at one point it wasn't actually yellow. And Google said, no, the sun gives off a white light. And then I saw a video, too, of like a camcorder going into like deep, deep space. And you can see that the sun does actually give off a white light. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I might need to understand what that white color is. Reminding myself of how light works and color works, right? I started to do some more research. So as I'm reminding myself, I'm coming into the awareness again that, yeah, white doesn't appear on the color wheel. And it's because it's all the colors, right? But it's when all the colors spin in a certain way and they're harmonious. Everything keeps its essence about itself, right? But when that happens, we appear to see white. If you took a color wheel and you did that, you would eventually see white as all those colors spin. So then I started to think about, well, okay, if I'm going to look at the color white, let me understand what darkness is to kind of check out the contrast, because we do live in a dualistic world, right? So you can't have the good without the bad. And this ain't to say either one of these are good or bad. We're just talking about the concepts, right? So the concepts of color, when it comes to what creates darkness, is when all those colors, again, come together. So all the colors, all possibilities, right? But they get mixed up. So everything's a bit unknown from each other, right? Like being in the darkness, it's like an unknown thing. So for instance, like I always paint with my kids, and we'll start out with like, I'll sketch out something on the Okay, here we go. So yeah, I paint with my kids. So sometimes we'll start out with these sketches, and then we'll add the paint, so we'll know where we're going. Because as long as we know where we're going, we can paint and we can make the butterfly or the house look like what it is, honey. But once we don't have a real plan, sometimes the colors will lose their essence, right? And then all of a sudden we'll end up with like a big blob of dark, smoky gray on the canvas because we just mixed all the colors up together. But yeah, those are great examples of like how these colors work. The darkness is where all possibilities are concerned or are considered because it's got all the colors or the hues that are visible to us in there. All right, it's just unknown, right? You can't really tell the red particles or the yellow particles from each other because they're just caught in the mix. And then I started to think, honey, well, when we're talking about colors and hues, right, that the sun basically takes all these hues together in their spin, and the darkness takes all these hues together and they mix them up, and we the damn humans, ain't it? You see what I'm saying? We're literally in a mix with each other or spinning harmoniously together a lot in our 3D walk of life. And when I think about the word humans, of course, hues being colors, right, that we see on the color wheel, but men's being our mentality, right? How uniquely we see the perspective on earth. And you give anybody a circumstance and you'll probably get like 50 different answers from 50 different people, the more details that come out about how said person would deal with said circumstances. You see what I'm saying? We're all very unique. But the spiritual lessons that we can take from the sun are so powerful because the sun is the ultimate creator. And it's saying that there is a space and a place where all the hues can spin harmoniously and they don't lose their essence. And when they don't lose their essence, a powerful force is given off, right? Now, black is powerful too. Like I said, the darkness is powerful too because once you get all those colors mixed in, you have an array of unknown possibilities available there, right? But how do you see through the darkness? You need the light. You see what I'm saying? So there's like a duality of a contrast, that yin yang type of thing. Also, I started to think just about the astrology. This is an astrology video, okay? This is an astrology video because I was thinking of the astrology, right? And I'm like, okay, well, which one of these zodiacs can tell us the most about the sun, all right? And of course, my astrologer friends know that if you are here with me, we right at Leo, right? Leo's ruled by the sun, the fifth house. So I was kicking the funky about the houses, right? Kicking the funky. It was basically, of course, just a confirmation, all right? The house of creativity. The sun is the ultimate creator, right? And this is the house of pleasures, children, bliss, enjoyment, right? Amusement, just things that you naturally enjoy. And again, when you think about your own essence, that's unique to you, all right? I don't like necessarily the taste of blueberries, but it might be lovely to you, okay? And that's cool. Everybody's got their own thing. I'm more of a mango person, right? Whatever, or you know, just regular strawberries do fine too. But whatever your fruit of choice is, right? It's unique to you, okay? And there's enough fruit and enough experiences and enough color around this planet that we can enjoy whatever it is that we like, right? And keep our true essence about ourselves, because it's about the pleasure at the end of the day. The sun said, the way I'm able to shine that bright is that I'm enjoying myself. It's about the pleasure of it. I do it for the fun, you know what I'm saying? Now, Leo is this courageous energy. Why would Leo need to be courageous? Why do you need to be courageous, basically, in order to create? Okay? Because the darkness is there. And in the darkness, it's unknown. All right. So you got to have a certain level of courage when it comes to creating. I think about my kids. We'll go to the park, right? They love the park. There's always like this challenge slide or challenge obstacle at the parks, right? And my daughter had there's this wall at the park, and my daughter was always looking at this like rope wall that she could climb. And a couple times she tried and she got scared, right? But her mind was just so fixated on like getting to the top one day. So, you know, she confronted her fear. All right. It was a lot of unknown possibilities, right? I'm sure in her mind, she probably felt like I might fall, but you know, mommy was going to be there to catch her, of course. But you know, anything could have happened, you know, her foot could have slipped, whatever could have happened, right? It's an unknown thing because you don't know that road yet on climbing up the ropes, right? So anything could possibly happen. So it does take a bit of courage, all right, to confront the things that are unknown. And you do that with your light. You do that with your son. You do that with that creativity that you have. You see what I'm saying? Leo is also, again, very generous, all right? Outgoing, powerful, devoted, and it's fixed. That being key word, fixed, okay? Leo is fixed fire. So the sun and the fifth house influences that fixed nature of saying, like, I want to create like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to create like that. It's something very important about keeping your own uniqueness and essence and being fixated in that point, okay? So you don't get lost in the mix, right? Because when you take those lights and you get them lost in the mix, they become darkness. So Leo is saying, yes, have the courage to be creative. Have the courage to stand, okay? And you can be the ultimate creator, all right? Think about the fifth house also. It's the house of children. That's one of the greatest things that you can create, kind of, right, in this lifetime. I mean, you can create a lot of great things for sure, like businesses and ways of life and higher philosophies and concepts, right? And we tend to think of these things as our actual kids, right? If you got a new business, it's like your baby. You see what I'm saying? So our children or physical 3D kids, right? They're all in this house because we've given the birth or the portal for this energy to enter into, okay? We've taken all these materials and ideas and concepts, put them in a form, and then we've created a project, right? Or a job, or, whatever it is that you're creating, right? But as the creator, you did that. It was your fixed placement, your fixed idea, your fixed fire that gives birth to it, all right? And speaking of birth and children, honey, peep this out, all right? Now, again, the sun, the ultimate creator, the giver of life, is saying that that's going to be influenced by your fifth house. And also, as a creator, we have children. And what do we know about children? Well, it takes about 9 months to have a baby, okay? So the 9-month gestational period. So if we go through Leo, counting at 1. All right, let's see what Leo gives birth to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, child, about to knock my shit off. Some of us already knew that. But 9 months later, okay, we give birth in Aries, the first house, the beginning of the zodiacal wheel. I mean, it don't get us to like a 0 degree point with how life began, but that definitely answers a whole lot of daggum questions about this whole life thing, okay? So the ultimate creator, the sun, the giver of life, is saying, yo, the way I create is by all the hues having their own unique essence, right? I'm not asking blue to mix in with the yellow to mix in with the red, all right? I appreciate everything as it is and being fixed in its own essence, right? Because from that fixed creativity, that fixed fire, 9 months later, you can give birth and be born into an identity. Taking that cardinal modality, right, of knowing the direction of where you want to go to, and you can put it into motion. And then that starts your whole journey on the astrology wheel. You see what I'm saying? Child, when I was thinking about this, I was like, yo, this is probably one of the reasons. I'm not saying to say the whole reason, right? Because there's so many different things that come together, right? But this is one of the ways that we can kind of explain and tie back into nature, all right? The influences of the sun and the stars, okay? And although, like I said, sometimes people tend to dismiss some of these energies, but I think they just do it without really knowing. Again, that unknown factor. Most of this world is dark, okay? But the sunlight is so powerful that it gives radiance, all right? It can shine the light. Okay, and you better let that little light of that little light of mine shine, that little light of yours shine, honey, because together, collectively, we are creating a powerful force, all right? And again, these spiritual lessons that I'm learning from the astrology, from the sun, from these planets, right? It just goes back into things that I can take with me in my everyday life, right? Because I got friends, okay? And then I got friends, and I got associates, and I got friends of associates. You know what I'm saying? I got all kind of people. I got folks that I just run into the grocery store with, child, okay? You could be in a mix with anybody. But it's so important, instead of trying to mix somebody out, right? It's more important to like allow them to keep their own essence and you to keep their own essence, okay? Because when it's time for me to check out my groceries, I definitely appreciate the cashier's, child. Because when you start going to these stores and now they got the self-checkout, so now the stores want you to be the salesman, or the clerk, the cashier, and you got to bag your own groceries, which I don't mind sometimes, because sometimes when people bag your groceries, you got to know not to put the cold stuff with the dry stuff. But anywho, that's a conversation for another time, okay? All I'm saying is that allowing everybody to keep their own essence, right, allows for a more palatable and pleasurable experience, okay? Think of any situation that you've been in, honey, all right? If your light was telling you, or your sun, or your fixed mind in that Leo energy was saying, yo, I don't think I want to go to this party. Now that sounds like a fun event, right? But we've all been there where we didn't really want to go out to the party. And then when we got there, we might have had a good time, of course, you know, some things that we can enjoy. But we were so fixated on going home or being wherever we wanted to be except for there, right? That's that same energy. Like, you want to create from a place that's pleasurable, even if other people want you to sometimes, right? But sometimes we'll compromise, right? We can get into this spin a little bit, right? It ain't nothing wrong with being a little bit in the mix, right? Because it was a beautiful thing when red mixed with yellow, because we got orange. So it's not a bad thing to be in the mix, right? But when you keep mixing and mixing and you mix out the essence of everything, right? That's when it becomes a problem, all right? So the mix ain't bad. The all possibilities of it ain't even bad once it gets all mixed in. But without the light there to shine and say what energy is what, then how would you know? It's unknown, okay? So the source code of all this is saying the sunlight can answer so many questions, can lead us to so many different ways and understanding and principles about who we are and what we're experiencing while we're walking in this 3D. And I think that's it. That's all, y'all. I try not to make this video too long. I just wanted to kind of come with a spiritual concept about the astrology, all right? And how the sun is kind of playing out in the 5th house, right? And giving birth to our cardinal fire, the direction of where we want to take that creativity to, okay? Because we're the humans, all right? We are the 5s, basically, okay? Look at your torso, right? Your torso is your core, and then from that core, you got your head, which is 1, and you got 2 other limbs, like the arms, which is 3, then you got your 2 legs, which is 5, right? Okay, so the creative story within you is saying, yo, when it's time for you to create, it's about what you're naturally attracted to, okay? It's about what you naturally want to express. And you know it because it's within you. You're fixed in it, right? That energy gives birth, though, to the way and the direction of how we transmute that energy through the walk of life, right? And I think that's it. That's all, y'all. I think I got my notes here. I think I hit all my points. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got my notes here, guys. I think I hit all my points. And that's it. That's all. I just wanted to come with a quick video about that. And this is the first of 5, all right? Just make it practical. Take this mist out of this mysticism, child, so that it's palatable to every perspective and awareness of life, all right? And so ultimately, we can transmute these energies and bend them to our will, all right? So that we can really ride this wheel and get the most out of this life, okay? And most importantly, this lesson of the sun today, keep your own essence. I love that you're uniquely you. I love that when you show up and you shine brightly, no other hue shines like yours. It's something remarkable about seeing people in their authenticity, right? You know what I'm saying? Because when it's phony, we don't want it. Nobody want that phony shit. Not unless you AT&T. And really, we don't want that because them bills be too damn high. But that being said, that's a conversation for another day. What we like to see, though, is our authenticity. We like to see ourselves genuinely show up for ourselves and be ourselves. So, with all those things being said, y'all, that's it. That's all. That's what I got for you. If you enjoyed it, please like the video. If you also want to share it, please do, child, honey. That would be a groovy thing for me. Whatever the energy is, I just appreciate that you were here. I truly, truly appreciate you for being here in your essence. So, and I also hope that you found something out of this helpful, all right, as a takeaway. But all those things being said, I'll see you guys in part 2 of this astrology practical breakdown here in a bit. And until then, guys, I love you. Take care of yourselves. Bye.